The full spoilers for Boruto manga chapter 62 are finally out, and although on first glance it seems like this chapter doesn't really contain a lot of things, but in spite of all of that, I definitely seem to enjoy this chapter much more than chapter 60, which in my opinion was a very boring chapter. So hello and welcome to Wonder WhyZ, and thank you so much for joining in. Let's just jump into it. But before that, obviously a major manga spoiler warning for all the anime only fans. You have been warned. So, essentially this chapter deals with Kawaki abandoning Konoha village. Now he has not technically abandoned the village, but he went out of the village on his very own accord by using a very clever technique. And Naruto and the others were really not able to understand this at all, and that is the basic first half of this particular chapter. Essentially here Boruto is the only person who is able to understand the nuances of the situation. Since he is also part Otsutsuki himself, he is able to realize that Kawaki tricked everyone by suppressing his chakra and replacing it with a Kage Bunshin. He even goes out to check upon the ninja who was keeping a watch upon Boruto and basically the Uzumaki family. Now we learn that this ninja is actually a part of Ino's sensory department, so yeah, he's not just some random guy. He definitely should be a proficient member, but even then Kawaki was able to get the better of him. Eventually Boruto understands the seriousness of the situation because he's slowly losing sight of Kawaki's chakra and Kawaki's signature. He got a little bit of Kawaki's signature when he was heading outside the village, and that's when he goes out to Naruto and tells him every single thing. Naruto initially is hesitant to believe this because he even goes out to ask the sensory department ninja if he detected any form of abnormality here, but he responded that no, I'm constantly sensing Kawaki's chakra. But while all of this is happening, after sensing Boruto's concerns for this particular matter, he immediately gets in contact with the Hokage office, and because of Ino's sensory communication, he is immediately able to get a hold of Shikamaru and Amado, who were in the middle of a discussion. Now props to Ino here, she's actually a very valuable member of the village here, and she's truly able to show her merit here. But basically in the midst of all of this discussion, it is brought about to them that Kawaki has actually went out of the village on his very own accord. Shikamaru is still a little bit suspicious. He says that we don't really know the motive behind this, and Amado obviously scoffs at him. But either way, the most important detail here is that neither the sensory department nor Shikamaru, or anyone for that matter, is actually going to be able to detect Kawaki because he has blocked off his chakra, an ability which is a part of the Otsutsuki clan. And since Boruto is the only person who is able to detect Kawaki, he decides to go to seek for Kawaki himself, and he knows that since Ino and the other sensory department ninja can track his chakra, this is going to be a favorable situation for them, because if Kawaki is left on his own, something very bad might actually happen and they will totally lose track of him because Boruto is the only person who is able to track him. Therefore, he immediately changes into his shinobi clothes and now he puts up Sasuke's headbands. Spoiler alert, things are about to get down. Things are absolutely about to get down. I'm gonna make a separate video when the actual chapter comes out about this because I feel like that scar is coming very soon. I'm 100% sure that this particular scar of Teen Boruto, it's not something which he gets immediately during the time skip. I feel like it's something which he has to get right now. That is the reason why this scar has matured now, and that is the reason why the karma mark has sort of revolved around that scar, especially because of how we saw in the time skip tease from the starting of the series. So it's definitely coming up very soon. Stay tuned for that. But while all of this is happening, basically Kawaki goes out of the village and he's confronted immediately by none other than Code, who was looking out for him under the advices and instructions of Ada. And he beats the crap out of Kawaki. Let's just say that the summary of the entire chapter, or rather the second half of this chapter, is that Code beats the crap out of Kawaki. He doesn't care if Ada believes that Kawaki's precious face is getting distorted. He doesn't care about all of those stuff. He just wants to take his revenge. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to kill Kawaki because of the contract or because of the deal which he made with Ada, but he's just literally slapping and kicking and punching him in the face to the point where he's just traveling on the ground. However, interestingly enough, here we finally get to see the motivation behind Kawaki leaving the village. No, he's not abandoning the village like Sasuke did back in the day. He's not actually becoming an emo at this particular moment, but rather his character growth is actually very substantial here. Now, it might sound a little dumb in the overall context of the given things, but I feel like it's quite interesting and it's quite justifiable, especially because of Kawaki's character development. He's on his arms and on his knees. He basically begs to Code to kill him instead of going after Naruto and the others but it's obviously up to no avail because for Ishiki Otsutsuki's death, Code knows the truth about it as to how Naruto and Sasuke are the people who are actually behind it, and he's going to take his revenge upon everyone who dared to kill the god whom he worshipped. And that is essentially the main meat of this chapter. Moreover, there are some more details which actually reveal here in relation to how Code plans to bring about the divine tree, have the chakra fruit, and basically kill every single person there. And the only way, the only manner to survive this would be in order to go to a separate dimension or a separate planet altogether. Now, this is a foreshadow. This is definitely a foreshadow of the events which are about to come. Again, I'm going to make a separate video very soon talking about all of these things because I feel like this gives us a clear indication of why exactly Kawaki turns villain in the time skip. Now, I'm just liberally using the word villain here. I'm sure that Kawaki is not technically going to become a villain, but I'm gonna explain all of my reasonings there in that particular video. So essentially, this is everything which was happening here. Now, in the very end of this chapter, Code literally chokes Kawaki to the point where he's almost about to die. Obviously, he's not going to kill Kawaki because of Ada's contract here, but he uses his belts transport back, or at least tries to transport back to their hideout. But at that very moment, at that very last moment, Boruto comes to the rescue. He literally kicks Code, and that's why Kawaki has been finally saved. Boruto has arrived on the scene and he has finally managed to save Kawaki, his brother. So yeah, things are about to get very intense from this point onwards. Now, this is essentially everything which happens in this particular chapter. If we are talking about it just in a singular bit, nothing really much happens here. We already knew most of the stuff which were happening here, but it does give us some very clear indication about the future of the series, and I feel like this chapter sort of directly gives us the foreshadow about what exactly is going to happen to Kawaki and why he's going to quote-unquote fall to the dark side, even though there's going to be a little bit of a misunderstanding here soon enough. But again, I'm going to talk about all of that in a separate video, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, this is everything which happens in Boruto manga chapter 62. What do you guys think about all of these things? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more. Join the channel membership for some very cool perks and features. Join our Discord servers for more discussions. So this is it for today. This is Wonder WhyZ. See you all on the next one.